Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions. So if a non-believer came up to you and said, "Hey Frank, will God send me to hell just because I don't believe in Jesus?" What would you say?
I would say you don't go to hell because you don't believe in Jesus. You go to hell because you've sinned. It'd be like saying, do you die because you don't go to the doctor? No, you die because you have a disease. Now, could you have prevented dying by going to a doctor? Well, yes, and the same thing is true with Christianity. You can prevent eternal death by going to the great doctor, the great physician. So no, it's not just you because you don't believe in Jesus, it's because you've sinned. It turns out that Jesus is the only way to salvation because he's the only one that has paid the price for our sin, because we can't pay it ourselves. We're sinners. He's the perfect substitute that has paid for our sins for us, so we need to trust him on that. Let me also say this, that if you don't want Jesus now, you're not going to want him in eternity. When people ask me, well, will God send me to hell? I say, no, you send yourself there. God won't force you into heaven against your will. I mean, the assumption is, Bobby, that everybody wants to go to heaven. That's not true. Who's in heaven? Jesus is in heaven. And many people don't want Jesus now. Why is he going to force them into his presence for all eternity? Look, if God exists, and he does, if there is an afterlife, there is, there's only two possible destinations. You're either going to be with God in the afterlife, that's heaven, or you're going to be separated from God in the afterlife, that's hell. Now, you say, well, hell might not be so bad. Well, think about it this way. Everybody right now, regardless of whether you're a believer or unbeliever, experiences some of the benefits of God. We experience love, we experience relationships, we experience joy, we experience the hope of a future, whether we're believers or not. His rain falls on the just or unjust. But I want you to imagine a place where there is none of that. There is no hope, there is no future, there are no relationships. All the goodness of God has been withdrawn. There's nothing but stone cold, narcissistic self-absorption. That's what the Bible means by hell. It's separation from God. And the reason there's a separation from God is because God respects your free choice. If you don't want him now, you're not going to want him in eternity.